G'day, it's Dame here from Studio 278. Look, I know we promised you that we would upload the video yesterday. Fat Chats episode number 2. We were meant to upload that episode the week prior, but we ran into a bit of technical difficulties. We did it again. We don't know what we're doing. The sound was rubbish. You can hear the radio in the background just going crazy. But I spoke to Aaron, I spoke to the boys here, I spoke to everyone, and they're like, you know what, just upload it, just do it. So episode number 3 is going to be a lot more crisp. The sound will be better. The videos will be better. Okay, but I think this one is very important, okay, because it is starring Aaron, the man himself, okay? Aaron is a business owner. He is the man who built this shop from nothing. He's the man, okay? So he talks to us about Fat Chats, Friday Night Walk-ins, the idea behind it, talks about the new shop and why he moved from the old location to the new location. So I think this will be a good watch, okay? So bear with us. The sound is rubbish, but watch it, and we promise the next one will be mint. It'll be fucking mint, okay? Let's go. What got you into tattooing?
That stems from just being around one of my best mates. He was a tattoo artist, and just seeing him tattoo and seeing the art side of it is just always very intriguing.
Yep.
So I just slowly got into it. Probably about 15 years ago, started getting into it, but then only started, full time.
Did you start your apprenticeship at the start? Is that so going back 11, 12 years?
Going back 11, 12 years, I started my apprenticeship.
And how long did the apprenticeship go back then?
There's no really time length on an apprenticeship.
Oh.
It's just whenever you're, I suppose, good enough.
Yep. And
So-
the owner or the boss says you're good.
Yeah. They say, yep, you're good enough, or you've got clientele you booked out. It kind of says that you're kind of good enough.
So that means your apprenticeship finished last year?
Yesterday.
When you are tattooing, which I see you in here every single day of the
Yep.
week, what do you do outside? When you're not tattooing, what do you love doing?
I don't get a lot of time.
I didn't think so.
No, I pretty much, I go here and I go home to my wife and kids. And when I'm not tattooing, I'm doing business stuff. So yeah, I think this is my hobby, to be honest. But then it's my wife and kids come first.
Yeah.
So that's home life and then
Yeah.
work life. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I think at the end of the day, the reason for the business, the reason for the hard hours, the long hours,
yeah,
sleepless
definitely.
nights is for family at the end of
Definitely,
the day. So the owner of Studio 278,
Yeah.
you are a full-time artist.
Yes.
And what's your tattooing style? Like, what's your passion?
My style would be realistic grey wash. I really like doing portraits, anything realistic.
Yep.
But portraits would be one of my favourite things.
Yep.
But yeah, or anything realistic.
What do you think makes a good artist?
A good artist would be someone that's probably first and foremost that's great with people.
Yep.
And connect with people, talk, chat, have a good time, make people feel comfortable. Someone that's just really willing to just go all in with their art and try and become great.
You've mentioned in the past, you've said a bad attitude can make a bad artist, and that you can essentially lose clients. So
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
you still agree with that?
Yeah, so I think a bad artist would be someone that's probably doesn't put enough time into their artwork,
Yep.
doesn't connect with their clientele, just treats them as a transaction rather than a client.
Yep.
Be someone that's not happy and friendly. They've just had enough and they should get out of the industry.
True, but they don't know anything else.
But that happens in all professions. You can get a little bit overwhelmed with it. And especially now with the social media side of it, doing things like this, it's a lot of people. I struggle doing this.
Yeah, it's a whole new ball game, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's back in the day, you remember, it's just there's a book with someone's portfolio.
Yeah,
You look through and go, sweet, I like that. Whereas now it's like your Instagram is up and running. It needs to be good. But yet tattoos can be amazing, but if your photos are terrible, it looks like a terrible tattoo.
yeah. You have to. It's the old saying of you used to be a great tattoo artist and you'd be booked out, but now you have to be an influencer, a marketing person. You have to be your own business. It's just a lot, and and that's coming from myself. Like I really do struggle with social media and posting.
Until now, because you're an influencer now.
I am pretty much an influencer after today.
Subscribe and click the link below.
Yeah, send me money. Send me money.
I also have OnlyFans.
Well, I did for a while, but it just didn't make any money.
Made no money. How do you feel like your social media presence is, like in terms of your photos or tattoos?
My social media is shocking. Yeah. I do about 4 posts a year. I think I'm too picky with my own work, and
you are,
and I'm too scared.
You're a massive critic on yourself.
Definitely. But again, I justify to myself. Like I've got the shop to worry about. Yeah. We've got the shop Instagram, Facebook page. So I don't have a lot of time anyway to be posting, which that's another cop out as well.
So I don't have time. You've been tattooing now for 11 years.
Yes.
So how long have you had Studio 278?
I think about 8 or 9 years now.
And so obviously we'll talk about this new shop, which is, I won't even go into it. The old location, Charters Towers. How long were you there for?
We started on Charters Towers Road. We're there for about, maybe around 7 years. I think we went from the first shop and we actually moved right next door.
Right, okay.
So the name Studio 278 is 278 Charters Towers Road.
Right, okay.
Because it was a great think tank.
You didn't have to think. Yeah. You're like, you know what?
So then we moved next door to 276, but we kept the name 278.
Did that hurt?
It did a little bit. Got teased a lot. We moved next door to a bigger shop, and then we just pretty much outgrew that one as well.
Yeah. With how many artists?
We had 5.
5. Okay. So, which brings us to the exciting part.
Yeah.
The big move here.
Yes.
What made you come to Douglas? It's a sweet little community. What attracted you to this particular shop?
It was just a beautiful area.
Yep.
Charters Towers Road is great. Busy, but it comes with a few downsides to it. Yeah. We just got an opportunity to leave. Our lease was running up at the old studio, and we had more and more artists wanting to join our team.
Yep.
So we just kind of took that on.
How long did it take you to set this up? Well, firstly, I'll pause you there.
Yeah, yep.
I don't want to offend you.
Yeah.
But you obviously did not design this yourself. You would have had help at the very least.
Definitely had help.
Who did this?
All the design is my wife. Built it, and she designed it.
Good. So I was going to say, I can't imagine what it would look like if it was all 100% you designing it.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't look that great. No, he knows my style, my likes.
Yep.
So we kind of worked together with it.
Yep.
But so a lot of the finer points she kind of picked out, and just definitely helped a lot.
Did she help with the layout, or was that you?
She mentioned the layout.
Yep.
I had a different vision in mind when I first walked in, but there was, during the whole build period, we had a few times we had to change. Walls were put up and we had to rip them down and change it because it didn't work.
Yeah. And how many artists does this shop cater for?
Well, we've got 9 booths, and we've got the big booth in the middle. Yep. That's for like larger sessions. If we do the 2 artists on 1 person. If you want to have family members come in and be with them for the tattoo, there's the bigger. The guests always get the booth up the front.
Yep.
But there's a couple of booths they can pick from.
You could fit pretty much 2.
You could. You could fit 2 people in there. It's a pretty big booth.
Speaking of size, that's what we love to talk about.
Yeah.
Size. Is this bigger than the last shop?
Yeah, this is about double the size.
Double. It's deceiving as well, because I've tried to take some good videos of this shop, and when people actually come to the shop, I would assume that they would understand the layout and how big it is, and they come in and go, wow, this is so much bigger than I thought.
Yeah, I think it was the main thing that I wanted was a waiting room where people can be comfortable.
Yeah.
And I wanted an area for coffee, and I wanted a really nice bathroom. So
They are nice.
They are very nice. So I wanted this side would be for customers just to come in, like a reception area, and just relax. And then
vending machine, toilets. Reception area.
Every issue or downside of the previous shops we've fixed in this shop.
What was it about the other shop that made you think, when we find a new spot, we can do better? Like, what was the main points?
One of the biggest issues was our toilet was outside. So when we went late into the night tattooing, a lot of the people didn't feel safe going out the back.
It was dark.
It was very dark, yeah. So even when the artists were leaving, they didn't feel safe some nights.
True. Yeah.
And then we didn't really have much of a waiting room. So when clients would come in, they would just hit with me tattooing right there. You could sense some days they would feel awkward. And this shop eliminates all those. You have a bit more privacy as a client, as a customer. When you're over here. So if people are walking in, they're not kind of seeing you laying there going through pain. And parking was horrific. Charter Towers Road, there was not a lot of car parks for multiple. So that's when the artists outgrew the actual space inside, but then the clients kind of outgrew the car parking that was available. So here we've got the underground car park. There's over 200 car parks they can park here.
CCTV. It's pissing down outside. Now, at the old studio, you'd be walking through that rain to go to the shop.
Definitely,
Here, we still see people coming past. They're running through the rain, but with the secured parking, you can pretty much get here without being wet as well.
Definitely.
So it is good. So, looking for any more artists?
I think we could definitely go one more full-time artist, and we're considering putting on an apprentice.
An apprentice?
Yeah.
When you say you're looking for an apprentice, is it an apprentice from the street? No apprentice.
It could be either never picked up anything, or someone, a first or second year, or someone like that. It's just the right person to come in and join a team.
I spoke to Jack last week, and he said he feels like he said for the couple of years he's been here, he doesn't feel there hasn't been a time when he's come here and gone, I feel like I'm at work. In your own words, what makes Studio 278 what it is?
I think what makes this studio what it is I think everyone involved. I think everyone from the artist to yourself, the space, the environment, the location, I think it just all kind of comes together with a certain feel.
You've told me in the past you've ticked off a few goals that what's your short-term goal for this shop?
The short-term goal now is, my first short-term goal was to complete the shop and move in. And we just had a few little goals as the walk-in nights, these chats, and that was the short-term goals. So from now moving on is just focusing on those. Focusing on fat chats, and focusing more on the walk-in nights,
which are doing very, very well.
Too
well, possibly too well. Maybe they're too good.
Too good.
I think they're too good. They're too busy, and we don't have hundreds of artists to keep up with how busy they are. For someone that hasn't been here, I dare say that anyone that has come here will feel the things that you've mentioned. They feel comfortable. They feel like they've got a very nice place. It's very hygienic. It's very clean. They've got toilets. They've got 2 toilets. They've got. So, what vibe would you tell someone that hasn't been here? Like, what would they feel when they come in for the first time?
You feel like you walk in. You feel like you're in good hands,
which you wouldn't feel normally at other tattoo shops. I've been to other tattoo shops. They look at you. Even when I was a little bit more clean-skinned, people would look at me and they'd be judging. They'd be like, why are you here? And you're like, I'm here to get some tattoos. And you feel like you're a burden on them. And
I think, if that's what they want as a tattoo shop, that's fine. But I think one of my little goals, and it wasn't really a goal, it was just a funny thing to say, I suppose at the time, was I wanted like an elderly woman to come in that's got no tattoos, to come in the door and feel comfortable and to be able to sit down and get a tattoo. There is still a stigma attached to some tattoo shops. So I think that was one of the goals. And we actually hit that. We didn't even realise at the time. But it was me and you were sitting, we were just cleaning and talking. And
cleaning your lovely
window decals. So I think, and one of the customers from next door, she would have been maybe 80.
Would have been,
about 80. She was on the way to church.
Which is located next door.
So she was actually on the way, and I think it was 8:30 in the morning.
Closed, it was closed. It hadn't opened yet. So.
And we were just chatting away and setting up for the day, and she comes in and she asked to sit down because it was too much for her to actually walk back to her car and sit down.
Absolutely.
So she came in, we made her a cup of coffee. You bought her a cookie from the vending machine.
Love that cookie.
She did.
It's only the size, it was the size of a head. It's like a cookie this big from the vending machine.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And I think at the time we were kind of giggling a little bit and we were just chatting away with her. She was a lovely lady. And then I think it was only a day or two later we kind of realised that, that was
it.
That was the moment.
Yeah.
That was one of these little, it wasn't a written down goal of mine, but we realised that if a lady is on the way to church with clearly no tattoos, feels comfortable enough to walk in
to two heavily tattooed people.
Yeah. I think, and it was great. That was
It was very organic too.
It was. It was beautiful. She was a lovely lady. So I think
we might have to get her back in for some ink.
Well, yeah. Well, we can see.
Why not? You as the business owner of a tattoo shop, which people would think you're going to come in here, you're going to see Harley Davidson's doing burnouts. There's going to be guns all over the tables. There's going to be bikies smoking durries and stuff. Like, not here.
Yeah, that's. I wanted to change that, just for me and from what I want. So, but I think we've definitely got that.
I want to talk to you about the Friday nights.
Yes.
What was your wild idea for a fixed Friday night walk-in night every single Friday night? Because we won't talk about flash nights because they didn't become a thing until after the Friday night walk-ins happened. We decided, and I'll let you explain the process, but what was your thoughts behind doing the Friday night walk-in night? I
wanted to turn this shop into a walk-in studio.
Yep.
But I think week one we opened and everyone was booked out.
True.
It's pretty hard to actually have an artist sitting here waiting for a walk-in. And if they are sitting here and able to do walk-in and small tattoos, all we need is 2 or 3 people to walk in for the day and they're kind of booked out.
Up, yeah.
We had an idea for the Friday nights.
The daunting Friday nights.
The daunting Friday nights. And that was just, we had a scheduled in night that we could offer people during the week.
Yeah.
So if they came in on a Monday morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, we could say, look, we can't get you in. And if we couldn't get them in for that day, we'd say, come in Friday night and we're ready.
Yeah.
So the first one we did was, we thought we'll go out, we'll launch it pretty big.
Yep.
We had the food truck.
We did.
We learned a lot from that. It was crazy.
It was an eye-opener. I know you were nervous. I was nervous.
I was nervous, about that one.
Are we going to make the vendors happy? Are they going to get business? Are our artists who are working outside their hours going to be busy? So
I think for me it was just, I was really nervous that day. You've got this idea, is it going to work? So there's a big difference between having too many people show or no one at all.
Yeah. So
I think I even had a dream the night that, I had 2 dreams actually, that we were all here waiting and no one showed.
That's weird.
So I think we had over 100 people for the first night. That's 100 people getting tattooed.
Yeah, multiple tattoos.
Yeah, that was a busy night. And then the next day, I think we got home at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And everyone realised that we can't do that every Friday night. It was too much. So we decided to split the walk-in night to walk-in nights every Friday.
Yep.
And then one Friday a month, we can do a flash night.
The big one.
The flash. So the difference would be the flash designs are pre-drawn, small designs, a different theme.
And that's so we can keep up with the load.
Yeah. So then the walk-in nights would be, you bring your tattoo idea to the shop, and then we can just do it up and tattoo it.
I understand what the benefits behind for a client is for those nights. What I'm interested in knowing is, how is it beneficial for the artists to be doing those Friday night walk-ins with just these small pieces? Like, is that beneficial to them, or?
It is beneficial to them. I think it's just a way of, my first idea of any walk-in night was to get people to come in and see the shop and experience the vibe, experience the feeling. So that's first and foremost. The next one would just be for all of our artists to do walk-ins, small tattoos, and it just gives you an ability to get new clients, talk to clients, and just get the shop and the brand of the shop out there.
It's easy to jump on Facebook to Everything Townsville and see all these tattoo shops being tagged in. It's easy to see Studio 278, go there, they're great, it's all good.
Yeah.
But you need to come here. You need
Definitely,
to see we're not just talking crap. These artists are very talented.
Yeah.
You select these artists, they're handpicked. So these nights are fantastic. I enjoy them.
Yeah. Next big one would be for Christmas.
Christmas
Flash night. We've got 2 food trucks. I'd probably with the big events, I would actually like to transition into a larger scale event.
Yep.
So market stalls, food vendors, and that would. I know this is the suburbs.
Yep.
Even though we've got the pub across the street and it gets a huge amount of people going in for dinner, but I think with a tattoo shop moving into your area, I'd like to show people in this area in Douglas that you can come in and you don't even have to walk in our door. You can at least take your dog for a walk. You can come down, you get a feed, coffee. That's what I want to do. Yeah,
we've seen it. We've seen people. They don't even know. Some people don't even know the shop's here. They're not.
Yeah.
They don't like tattoos. They don't want them. But they walk past.
Yeah.
And, what's this? Tattoo shop.
Yeah.
Why are you here? We do this every Friday night.
Yeah.
I'd
like to actually end up working with the pub across the street and doing more of like a big event. Yeah. And that doesn't have to be too often, but it's just getting the shop out there and going from there.
So, the question people have been asking is, what is Fat Chats?
Fat Chats was an idea just to be able another platform to show people us as individual people and individual artists. So more of behind the scenes to delve more into the actual life of the artist. I think people do want to know more about their artist. It's very easy to say, okay, that's my tattooist, but to realize that they've got family and they've got kids and they do have hobbies outside.
Absolutely.
I think it is interesting. And then the other part is we have got some crazy interesting clients come through. We do. So I'd really love to showcase them, just to give them more of an opportunity to speak as well.
So how would that look? So if we wanted to interview a client, and like let's say we see you tattoo someone or new tattoo someone, and we notice that they've got a good story. They might be ex-veteran, they might be whatever, and we want to interview them. Like what sort of things are we going to chat to them about?
Well, about their tattoo, their experience, their story, and what brought them to the point of coming in and getting a tattoo. I think some of the stories that are behind their tattoo are pretty, beautiful stories.
You do have that. You got half the people like me who just get tattoos for the sake of getting tattooed. But you do have a very big majority of clients who get tattoos and it's well thought of. They've been sitting on that tattoo design for years. They're nervous. It's got massive meaning behind it. So hearing that story would be lovely. Yeah,
I think so. I think it's going to be a great thing. I think I want to elevate the tattooing as a whole in Townsville. Elevate the community, showcase a better side and the real side of tattooing. It's very easy. You think, this is a tattooist, and you can have an opinion or you can have an understanding or whatever of their work life. But to actually show and come in and show the day-to-day work day, more about them as an actual person, and just some more behind the scenes. That's what we're going for with this.
I think we're only starting. We had the technical difficulties.
Explain the technical difficulties.
So our technical difficulties
was
us being technically
literate.
Rubbish.
It was a blooper reel that the entire night.
The phone ran out of storage. It was ridiculous. But
you can't blame the phone. I think it was more of us.
It was us. It was us. And
I think my vision for Fat Chats is to showcase the shop and the artisan behind the scenes. So this one, I think I did put a lot of pressure on myself on this one. I think with all my ideas, which I've got a lot more ideas coming, some really big, crazy plans. I think it is pretty daunting and I do overthink a lot. So I just want to make it perfect. So I think that night I was pretty nervous in doing it.
And it was pretty late. You just finished a full day piece as well.
I think you can be confident and you can chat and laugh, but then you hit record and your words don't come out properly. I thought about it too after the technical difficulties. I think that's what I want. I don't want a perfect podcast kind of. It is just ironing out the creases at the start.
Creases are us.
We are the creases.
Even
when we first moved into the space, it was a daunting thing of finishing the build and then coming in and actually then running a business.
And you had a lot of visions. So how do you implement those visions when you are not only the business owner, but you're also a full-time tattooist?
Well, it's really, really hard. And I think when you came along, that opened up all these avenues and all these doors for me to actually achieve.
Absolutely.
And then with your skill set, and you were like the absolute perfect fit. But we've known each other for a few years before this. When you came in, you brought all my visions into reality.
Yep.
So I think now we've had multiple lists and we've got through all the lists. I think when we tick one vision off the list, that kind of parts into 2 or 3 more.
It does. The gift card this morning.
The gift cards
You're
this
like,
morning, yeah.
we need to do digital. I'm like, here we go. And you're like, yeah, but can they buy it and sign it and it comes straight to them? And I'm like, add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
Fat Chats is
Yeah.
excellent. I think I will slowly over time cut away the ums,
Yes.
cut away
We're going to start to aim to do all the artists to see their backstory and a bit behind the scenes, what they do for hobbies and what they do outside of work.
Believe it or not, they don't just tattoo.
Yeah.
They've
got families and
they've got hobbies, they've got other skills.
Yes,
Some of them
yeah.
are tattooists second. Like there's some people that have skills that are even bigger and greater than tattooing.
And hobbies are a big thing. So showing their hobbies and what they actually outside, how do they disconnect from tattooing as a job? Because it is pretty stressful sometimes when you've got to draw your drawing, book clients in, and the constant stream of messaging people does get overwhelming.
It does.
Most of the time.
It does.
So I think showing that side of it, then maybe in between we'll get a few interesting people, but hopefully it moves on to
inspiring
yeah.
people is a big passion of mine.
Definitely,
I think it's definitely one of yours as well. So
Yeah.
inspiring the next generation of tattooists.
Yeah.
Potentially, as you mentioned, apprentices. There's many people out there that I've heard so many people say, oh, when I was younger, I wanted to be a tattooist. And now I always ask them, why didn't you jump at that opportunity? So to be able to explain how you became a tattooist, how Jack became a tattooist, how all of the other artists became tattooists, could potentially inspire other people to go, you know what, let's actually do this, because it is a daunting industry.
Definitely. Looking into a tattoo shop at a tattoo artist, it does look cool, and it looks like you're just laughing and have funny videos, and you know, to show the other side of you are sitting there all day tattooing people. The
Leaning
messaging
over someone's body and tattooing,
hunching over all day, drawing all night. Then this is where the passion of art drawing. And then on top of all of that, then you've still got your other art hobbies, projects that you want to still do to try and get better. It is a big thing. So just show people that. So
it takes years, and I think we'll go back to 11 years. Like, are you still learning things?
I still learn, every day. Yeah, every day. I don't think tattooing... That's why with an apprenticeship, there's no set amount of years or days or, you know, because it goes on the effort. If you put in a lot of effort and you're great and your clients love you and you're booked out, that kind of makes you already an artist. And art is subjective. There is definitely a technical aspect of it that you have to get, you know, which I think one of the Fat Chats we will talk about a lot of the stuff.
Fat Chats sometimes doesn't even need to necessarily be talking about someone. It could be something. It could just be as little as hooking up an artist to a mic and just saying, hey, so what's your thought? How are you going to break this tattoo down? How are you going to do this? Especially with your realism.
Yeah, I think we can do a Fat Chat on one of our mentoring sessions that we sit down and we can, you know, I think just showing that side of the industry. And then overall is building the brand of 278.
278. Personally, I believe it's the best tattoo shop in Australia.
In Australia?
Is that? Do you think it is?
Well, no, I think
I go hard out.
My strength is I'm focusing on me. And this space and this artist in this business. I don't want to compete.
You're not competing.
I'm not competing. If you want to run your tattoo parlor a certain way, that's fine. I've got no thoughts, no judgments.
I like that you aren't competing or copying, because I feel, I'm not going to name names or anything, but like I do feel like when you have a vision, we could sit on it. We could talk about. It's easier. You can talk about visions. You can talk this. You can talk that. Doing it's a different story. So doing something, you're going to have people that go, you know what, that works really good. I might try that. So I think with our plan for the shop is when other shops that have copied what we're starting to do, I think it's a compliment. I don't take offense to it. God no.
I think that was the plan to grow the industry and inspire, but not even in a cocky way, because everyone does what they want.
Yep.
But if we have a great idea and we do it, and someone else does it, that's great. But we're just going to focus on what we're doing.
And we're going to do it the best, to be honest. See, that's me coming in again.
That's you? Yeah.
We're going to do it the best.
Yeah.
I think we do, and I know we do, but
yeah. I know we do as well. And they will get to a point where you can't compete.
Yeah.
But again, if it makes you and a better artist, that's great, and that's better for the people in Townsville.
Absolutely. Well,
Yes.
thank you. It's been difficult to try and find a gap in your week.
Yep.
Thank you for letting me and everyone watching know a little bit more about you. I think it's all good and well to have a studio and to just let it run, and clients come in, clients come, they go. But there's some stories to be told.
Definitely some stories to be told.
7 months to put this beautiful shop together, and I'm going to say you nearly died doing it. Like, you did this by yourself.
It was pretty hard.
Long nights.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did it, but I think people wanted... This shop deserves a video, letting people know about it.
Yeah.
The reason why, the vision for going forward. In 5 years, this shop will be going places, and every 5 years we're just...
Yeah.
It's only growing each and every
Yeah,
week.
I think, and this is with the Fat Chats, it's bringing people along for the ride, showing the journey. If we document it the whole entire way,
make it more personal,
Yeah,
make it more
definitely.
engaging. So I think, thank you very much for
no
joining
worries,
me.
thank you.
I won't hassle you again until I think of another reason for you to come down and sit with us.
Yes.
But that's it. Cheers.